Welcome at Business Days TV Live, this time at Business Days in Cluj. I'm very happy to have here a guest from Old Britain, and I want to present Imani Kyaruzi here for the show with the name Education and Personal Development in Digital Era. So first of all, I want to have more information as well our audience about you. Imani, please give us some more information about education and personal development about Imani.
Thank you very much, Jules. Fantastic, and it's nice to be here with you today. My name is Imani Kyaruzi. I was born in Tanzania, but then I was educated in the United Kingdom. When we talk about personal development, maybe I will talk about personal development in the education area. First of all, I gained my first degree from the University of Wolverhampton, and that's in Bachelor of Arts in Business Administration, major in Human Resource Management. And I went on. I think the first degree wasn't enough, so I decided to go for an MBA in entrepreneurship.
Very good.
And that was at the University of Central England. Now the university has changed name. It is the Birmingham City University. Okay, so from there I met a number of professors, especially Professor Mike Taylor of the University of Birmingham, who encouraged me to go on and do a PhD. So I moved from Birmingham City University and I went to the University of Birmingham, which is UOB. Okay, and there I did the research, a PhD in business incubation and clustering.
That's just what we want to have here.
Yeah.
You are here in the melting point of entrepreneurs, and I'm happy that we have you here. So
Good.
Many thanks. Yeah, that's interesting. So please let us start in medias res with education and personal development in digital era. What do you think about that? What is important for you about this? In which direction it's developing?
This is very important to me for a number of reasons. Remember, education in the digital era has got two sides. You've got the teacher side, those who are delivering the education, and then you've got another side, those who are actually receiving that education. So we're going to have a discussion on I will give you my ideas from the teacher side, and then from the student side, the ones who are actually supposed to be receiving that kind of education. The digital era, I've got an advantage. One advantage is that when I was growing up, being educated in Tanzania from the early years, and then I moved to Britain, and then found that the classrooms were absolutely different. Okay, it was the first time I couldn't see a chalk, somebody using a chalk, so that was a little bit of a shock. But then it was a different kind of interaction. Okay, yeah, where back home in Tanzania you'd have that teacher, okay, you'd have that bit of relationship, but then again maybe the teacher will probably open a book and say, listen, this is where we are going to read today. But then here, the focus was slightly different. Okay, these are the materials, and you probably have a website, and then this is the portal. Okay, you have to gain an access to get to the portal to read those materials.
Great.
Okay, so materials are provided digitally. Okay, so what do we learn from this type of differences? First of all, education has been transformed so much. Okay, the student now have become a teacher, so I understand exactly how has it been transformed, the way it has been transformed. First of all, the students that we teach now, okay, when we talk about the concept of being inquisitive or critical thinking, okay, it is something that it is very, very difficult to emphasize.
Giving a peer Yeah.
Because the problem that they have, they've got too much information.
Yeah.
So the issue then, it's not where they're going to find information, it's what information are they going to read.
Yeah.
So it is a selection. Are they able actually to filter, okay, and go out there and read the right information? Because everything is just out there. It's been provided for them, okay? And the problem is that it is also creating a situation where students, they find it easy to go to these comparators now, okay? So they can just go out there, put the materials, and if they think this has been plagiarized, they will go back and they redo their work again. That is not critical thinking.
I
Okay,
think this is a
that's paraphrasing.
yeah.
Yeah, that is absolutely paraphrasing. So my issue is the digital era creating more smart people,
Yeah, right.
or is it actually, is it actually affecting the way they learn? So learning has been made easier because the information is there, but I do not think that it is actually creating critical thinkers of the future.
I like this era of criticality and this situation of outcome-oriented learning. So I really think that the British universities had over years built up a certain key competency in this field, which we can use for the future. So yeah, that's very interesting to have that worldwide, to have maybe these outcomes worldwide, and to see the good governance who can implement that for the future.
That's right. The other thing that is very, very important, if you look at education, back in the 50s, 60s, the history is actually telling us, well, it was content based.
Yeah.
Well, now the focus is not just about the content. Now it is content being transformed into skills. Okay, theory to practice. Okay, so the emphasis is theory to practice. But then we have another issue. If somebody didn't actually participate in the creation of those materials, or if the student cannot actually question the obvious, the materials are there. Are they actually questioning what is there? Okay, so it is the ability to question that information. It's the ability to check the credibility of such information. Okay, that is an issue. So maybe we are teaching them to check the credibility rather than critical thinking.
Very good.
Yeah.
We discussed before in our preparation, we discussed about your thesis, about your dissertation.
Yes.
Of your PhD, and we spoke about social responsible projects and businesses. And my question is, what are the challenges of social enterprises? I think that's the melting point of your research you have done.
Yeah, well, fantastic. My research was actually in business incubation and clustering. So I was actually looking at the incubation of SMEs. Okay, but SMEs are of different types. You got SMEs who are in private businesses, and you got SMEs who are actually social enterprises. Okay, but your question is about the social enterprises.
Yeah.
So if you're going to incubate a social entrepreneur, you're likely to face a bit of challenges, because most of the other guys who come in as entrepreneurs, they usually have no idea of what they want to do. They are just there to receive some mentoring services. They expect the incubator to provide them with a bit of support, accounting, finance, and things like that. But for a social enterprise, someone comes in with a specific goal. I want to help.
Or a social project.
Oh, a social project.
Yes.
Okay, my project is probably to help people to
Yeah.
raise HIV awareness. Okay, so you are about to incubate somebody's goal, somebody's idea. Okay, so that's the challenge. So to find a mentor who can actually incubate such programs, it is very, very difficult. Incubating an idea where you are not actually sure what will be the outcome, it is a challenge. And that person has got his or her own specific goals. Maybe they want to do it for 2 years and then stop. But the incubator goal is to support a business beyond 10 years. And
we spoke about the possibility that after an incubation, an acceleration can be started. Or please say something about that.
Yes, that's great. You've got an incubator, but most of the incubators now, they're also becoming accelerators. Okay, where the idea is the main incubators, the idea is to incubate the eggs. But now you've got accelerators that are actually taking care of the chicks. Okay, yeah. Most of the accelerators, they've got a concept that going down to the floor sometimes is too hard. So they will have an idea which is already defined, but all they need is the support to take it to another level. Okay, and I see corporate accelerators now, where I've seen Samsung doing the same. Yeah, they've got their own accelerators. Yeah, Microsoft, they're also doing the same. Okay, so they're actually assisting some of the businesses, but in most cases they do that in exchange for some equity shares in those businesses. And it seems to work. So the accelerators, they're taking over in a way. Yes.
Let us think about our time. We are in the beginning of a new century, 21st century. We're looking ahead. We're looking to the future. We're speaking here in this Business Days session in Cluj about digital era, digital persona, digital development, digital leaders. What do you think are the future development? Are there new, old needs, or what is changing? How you see that as an expert?
To be honest, everything looks as if the human being hasn't changed a lot. What is being changed is those emotions around the human being.
Yeah.
Sometimes you might think the technology is changing, but it's just the emotions. Okay.
Very good.
People's emotions and reaction to things are actually changing.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen people trying to rush. They're trying to save time. But then my question for most students and some of the people who are here at the conference is that what do you do with the time that you're trying to save?
Yes, I give it in your hand.
Yeah.
How you would create the question, how you would create that. What's going on?
Yeah, what's going on is just the emotions. You're surrounded by all these technologies.
Yeah.
We need to start actually educating young people and say, listen, that friend who is trying to chat with you while you're trying to gain education, he will be there tomorrow. So you don't have to skip your class to respond to that friend. And sometimes they receive text messages in the classroom. Hello, friend. Maybe I'm in Colombia now. I'm having some lagers.
Yeah.
But you are in the classroom. Okay. Yeah. So there's a bit of disruption there. Okay, so you rush to go and respond to that particular text message, but that person is actually 8 hours ahead. Is probably enjoying. He or she has finished our activities for the day and enjoying. But that is your time. So time management is not just about time management anymore. It's about proper utilization of time. But the technology has given us access to too much information. Is making things move faster, easy transaction. We are saving time. We are saving a lot of time. But then we are going back to bed with more worries and emotions, trying to spend the time that we were saving during the day. So it is getting worse. So we need to put our emotions in balance. Okay, I think this is what we need to do.
I like that.
Okay, we need to put our emotions in balance. Too much use of technology, probably too much of everything is bad. I think it's the balance. What did you need? Okay, because the problem is there's a lot of confusion, as I mentioned earlier, where you provide the students with a lot of materials, but then which one should they go first? So prioritization first is an issue, and then that concept, that bit of patience of what do I actually need from from this volume of information, volume of data that I have, what do I actually need? Okay, so they spend.
I understand. And I see that for pupils, for students, for learners.
Yeah.
So my question is now, as a final question, how you see the development or the changes or the change management for leaders. Where are there the changes for the future, that we are going into a sustainable, responsible future of this earth?
Yeah, but the issue now again, who is the leader in the 21st century? That's the thing, because we've moved from those traditional leadership traits now. You need to be a super leader now. Okay, I do actually research a lot on born global firms, those firms that have been set up with the purpose of operating, beyond the borders. But the issue is, if you're a leader of a company that has got 100 branches, okay, you have to become a super leader. You have to learn lots and lots of cultures. You have to equip yourself with you have to cultural awareness. There's so many other things that you have to do. So I know people are working on transformational leadership, and they're proposing that model as the best. I know you are part of that, okay. But then we're going to probably have to have an entrepreneurial leader, okay. In terms of leadership, all leaders will have to be entrepreneurial. They have to be adaptive. They have to be able to adapt to new situations, because the businesses are not the way they are. They could change tomorrow. It could happen anytime. We've seen the case of Nokia. We've seen BlackBerry. We've seen so many other companies.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So the future is not us anymore. The future is the technology. The technology decides where you're going to be leading tomorrow. You could be a leader today, and you might not be a leader tomorrow. Okay, so it is the issue of you trying to become a constant learner now.
Yeah.
So in terms of leadership, it's not just I'm a leader, I'm sitting in my office. You have to become a constant learner, a lifelong learner. That means you're learning every time and every day.
Very good. I think this is our end, because it's so clear, so crystal clear, and I like it. So I would have that as an end phase in our TV show today. I hope we can do another show with you soon when you're coming again, because I really like that, what you're saying. I like what you have researched and your experiences. So very many thanks, Imani.
My pleasure.
For being here.
My pleasure. Thank you very much.